It's election day and it's underway. And all I got to say is if you don't vote, don't complain. I know a lot of you have gone to early voting, but guess what? The stats are in, and a lot of you have not. So you got to get to it, y'all. Y'all got to get to the voting place. Now, yesterday, I went to early vote on 63rd and Stony Island. And so that's the YMCA on 63rd and Stony Island. I was told that tomorrow, which would have been today, that they were going to be across the street. That's not correct. You can still go vote all day long if that's in your district now. At the YMCA on 63rd. When I tell you, I got to give a shout out to the nicest people. They were amazing. They had high energy and they were exactly what we needed for yesterday. Now, today, I want y'all to go in there with the right attitude. I want you to go in there with the right hearts, and I want you to go in there with the right punch numbers. Because truthfully, this is going to be game changing. Y'all, it's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I'm super excited about Tell Me Something Good Tuesday. Tuesday is always a day that we have community chatter. And of course, we are always excited to be with the award-winning, I should say, Winona Redmond, and today is no different. We always have the best guests, and we got news you can use in this power hour, so don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390.
Hey, it's your main man, Action Jackson, and the business spotlight of the week is Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini Cafe, coming soon to 238 East 35th Street. The grand opening is March 15th. If you're looking for a gourmet sandwich shop serving high-quality ingredients made simple and fresh, check out Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini Cafe. That's at Bronzeville Hoagie and Panini on Instagram.
You know what?
The grand opening is March 15th. This is brought to you by the Drinks and the Co-working.
Oh, okay. I'm like, he might not answer that phone, but he sure put up that star.
Tara Stamps of the First District, and elections are just around the corner. That is your vote.
What's
your
up,
choice.
P-Lo?
If you want someone who's prepared to stand up for public safety, public health care, and jobs, punch 101 to get the job done. That is Tara Stamps, Cook County Commissioner of the First District. Punch 101 and get the job done.
What's up, beautiful? Hey,
social media, Facebook, and
shout
Instagram
out to
at
Premier.
Stamps for Commissioner. And you can see my website, www.stamps4commissioner.com, www.stampsforcommissioner.com, at Stamps for Commissioner. Paid for by friends of Tara Stamps.
Attention motorists, get your new Buddy Bear yearly Buddy Pass for as low as $17 a month for the entire year. No matter where you are, it's in 15 locations. You can go anytime and get your car washed every day if you want. All year long, Buddy Bear members will receive exclusive perks and offers throughout the membership. Go to BuddyBearCarWash.com. That's BuddyBearCarWash.com and get your membership today. You can ride out with a clean ride tomorrow. That's BuddyBearCarWash.com.
Dreaming of a new home or selling at a great price? LNS Development is your go-to. Expertise in real estate and mortgage loans, we make the process seamless and rewarding. No more hurdles in your property journey. Buying, selling, or refinancing, we've got your back. Dial area code 773-616-0906 and step into your property dreams with LNS Development. Area code 773-616-0906. LNS Development, making property dreams a reality.
Without Black history, where will we be? So today in Black History, we want to celebrate the man who changed the game by using just something as simple as peanuts. Yes, Carter G. Woodson took the peanut and started making all kinds of things. Not just peanut butter, not just peanut oil, but so many different products that you don't even know are peanut based. Now, a lot of people have peanut allergy. They're peanuts and they're tree nuts. You got to figure out which one you are. But whenever you eat your next peanut, I want you to give thanks and praise to not only God, but also to Carter G. Woodson. That's today's segment in Black History. Now, you know, week 365 every day on the Brunch Bunch, Black History. Are we still in Women's History? It's March still, right?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I wake up, I don't even know where I am. But yes, we are still celebrating women's history. But today we thought we'd throw a little testosterone in it for all you estrogen overloaders. Y'all don't go nowhere. It's time to get down. It's Inspiration 1390, the Brunch Bunch.
So we're gonna do in the road.
I love God.
Is this the one?
I love God. You love God.
So we're gonna do in the road. And then you wanna do the song that you sent me?
Oh yeah, but I want to lead up to, so I don't want you to just fade it in.
You on that? Okay. Girls for the girls.
Girls for the girls. Y'all see this bounce? Come on,
Ronnie.
bounce with me.
How are you? I said it like that to make sure I'm saying the right name. Oh my God,
What's up?
Tamara.
What?
Our producer Jarrell is the star of a music video about love.
You hooked it up. You put him on the
Hump Day
blind
Hookup
date,
is
hump
on the
day
way.
hookup.
When I saw that, and Ken and stuff never show up on my feed. That was the first thing that came up. Ken, our overproducer, Ken, her video, and it's about you not my soulmate or something, right?
Oh.
It is. Jarrell laid all up on the.
Okay.
Yeah, she worked up with him, so that's a good video for Hump Day Hookup.
First of all, every time you say hump day hookup, Jarrell start doing it. He like got the shape.
And then did you see it? Well, you don't check the front one, but I think I said it to you too. Justice was a guest on their podcast.
What?
Talking about love again. Oh, Lord, Jarrell, it's all around you.
I'm not mad. I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
So you want to do in the road and then set up the song off the in the road?
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
No, I just want to make sure I give y'all service that y'all actually.
Don't worry, we don't. We just pass them on and start just going off the top. What? Yeah, we definitely will.
Just because we don't do a story don't mean we don't like it. Trust me. I will say. What the hell is that? Oh, excuse me. What's up, Facebook? We match into that.
I was just getting ready to say, you tried to match me.
Yeah. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? So my tooth been bothering me. And Valencia sent me a video of the NFL star that died from an abscess in his tooth. And now I've been tweaking all morning.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know what? My grandmother, before she passed away, she said, check your ears. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I don't know. Just check your ears. And ever since then, my ears been chafing. I'm like, you can manifest.
Hey guys, it's Tamara Fair
with all that.
from the Brunch Bunch.
I
Now, your
sent it
home
to
is
y'all
not just a
already.
place. It's a lifetime of memories, hard-earned and cherished. At Secure Home and Automation, they understand what it means to protect these
Don't
memories.
say she's
As a
not feeling
Bricks
well.
authorized dealer,
Oh,
they stand guard over 1 million homes and
These are
businesses,
last two.
ensuring safety 24/7, 365 days a year.
And you know what? Their response center is
what I
ever
did?
vigilant,
Oh, that's
providing
so
top-notch
cute.
monitoring for
Well, let's just
burglary,
send it to me.
fire, carbon monoxide, and medical emergencies.
I
They
love
will
that. Look at
fulfill
Jarrell's
and even
smile.
exceed all industry standards. With Secure Home and Automation, they have
Love,
a
look good
powerful
on you,
security
Jarrell.
solution. Round-the-clock peace of mind sounds
Mike
good to
Williams.
me. Isn't that priceless? So let Secure Home and Automation be a part of your story, a part of your legacy. They're safeguarding your home and preserving your peace.
So go ahead and call 866-447-3344. That's 866-447-3344. Call today and make a wise choice to secure your tomorrow. Secure Home and Automation. You've heard the
Hey,
name.
Dr.
Now
Sandra.
experience the promise of ultimate safety that they bring
You
to your
remember
home.
Dr.
Call
Sandra.
Stacy Chauncey
at 866-447-3344. Stacey Chauncey, 866-447-3344.
Hey, believers, it's your main man, Action
DJ
Jackson. Are you
B-Lo
searching
said,
for a
please don't
life-changing word?
update me. I
Look
love
no
my
further
girlfriend,
than Corby Bush
Tamara
Ministries.
Fair.
Tune in every
DJ
Saturday at
B-Lo,
6
we
p.m.
putting you on
Central
Hump
Time
Day
to the
hookup
Word
at the
Network,
Jarrell.
where Corby Bush Ministry brings you powerful messages that will touch your heart and transform
Oh, Lord,
your
we
life.
better hurry up.
Corby
Matter
Bush
of fact,
Ministries is
one of these
spreading the
Wednesdays, I'm going to
teachings
just
of
walk
love,
come in
faith,
with her.
and empowerment. Give them a call, 214-371-8768, to connect directly with their ministry. And don't forget to follow Bishop on Facebook at Corby Bush Ministries for daily inspiration and updates.
Oh, good, because I
Don't
need
forget
you
to tune in
Thursday to
this
work
Saturday at
with
6
me
p.m.
at my
to
co-working
the
day.
Word Network for a life-changing word.
Hey there, Chicago. Are you looking to buy the home of your dreams or sell your property at the best price?
Your quest ends at LNS Development.
Man,
With
this
our
story,
expert real estate and
I
mortgage
don't
loan
see how I
services,
cut too
we
much
turn
of
your
it. It's
property
really,
dreams
really
into
important.
reality.
Don't let financial hurdles stand in your way. Our seasoned team is here to guide you every step of the way.
So whether you're buying,
No, you
selling, or
can't. You can't. I
refinancing,
took
make
some
your
of the.
next
I
move
took
with
some of it out,
confidence.
but
Call us
not
at
a lot.
773-616-0906.
Oh, today is
And let
election
LNS
day.
Development open the doors to your
Had-
property
had you
dreams.
been here, you
Again,
know.
773-616-0906.
LNS Development, where your property journey begins and success awaits.
We're in the raw with Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
Now, I'm not really using my conspiracy theorist hat today, but I am going to say this, that Trump and Kanye are vying for first position as to who can do the most outrageous stuff, right? Who do you think's winning?
I'm sure it's Trump, because Kanye is not really doing that much outrageous stuff.
No, he's getting ready. Whenever you don't hear Kanye, he's getting ready to be heard. But anyway, today is not about Kanye. Today is about former president and Republican frontrunner Trump, the Donald, I shall say. So Trump's bond lawyers say he is unable to get $464 million in a guarantee in this New York fraud case. Well, the former president must either pay the full amount in cash or secure a bond in order to continue his appeal. Well, if he is unable to do so by the 25th of March, which is for $464 million in the morning, he faces the prospect of some of his real estate assets being seized by the state's attorney general. Well, Mr. Trump said that securing a bond of that size was practically impossible. For a fee, a bonding company would guarantee the full amount to the New York court, and they would have to pay if Mr. Trump loses his appeal, or he cannot pay for himself. Well, so in his statement, Mr. Trump said that the bond he was asked to pay would be impossible for any company, including one as successful as his, in his own words. So the bonding company has never heard of such a bond of this size before, he said. Well, Mr. Trump's team spent countless hours negotiating with one of the largest insurance companies in the world, and his lawyers wrote in a court filing those negotiations are still underway. But the lawyer said that he had approached 30 companies without success. Well, to secure a bond, an individual has to demonstrate to the company providing the guarantee that they have enough liquidity, usually in the form of cash plus things like stocks or securities, which can be sold quickly to cover the amount. Well, this whopping $464 million is something that even the most successful companies are putting their paws hat on. Well, Mr. Trump's two eldest sons must pay also millions of dollars in this case. Along with ordering Mr. Trump to pay the penalty, New York Judge Arthur Engoron banned him from running any businesses in the state for 3 years after he found the former president falsely inflated his assets and he inflated his assets in order to secure a better loan. Now, what I don't understand is if you stop somebody from working, how do you expect them to pay the money? Same situation that happened with R. Kelly, but that's for another day. So a judge paused Mr. Trump's business's ban last month, but denied his bid to provide a smaller bond amount of $100 million to cover the fine. In the latest filings, the former president's lawyers included an affidavit from the president of his private insurance firm who said, simply put, a bond of that size is rare, if ever. So the legal team has been playing the delaying game as he appeals the verdict. And she said, but now he might have to get off the rope. He's facing a very, very real possibility that the Attorney General will begin to liquidate his assets. Mr. Trump's lawyer said that the bond companies would not accept hard assets such as real estate as collateral for bond, but only cash or cash equivalents. Evidently, they do not have much respect for what he is reporting as his net worth. Now,
Right.
according to Forbes, they estimate Mr. Trump's net worth to be $2.6 billion. And he testified last year that he had a $400 million liquid asset treasure trove. Well, the $464 million judgment is not his only expense. He was ordered to pay $83 million in January. Somebody do the math real quick. How much is that? A total of, a lot. So the woman, and that was for the defamation case with E. Jean Carroll, a woman he was found to have sexually abused. Mr. Trump had another legal setback on Monday. Yes, that's yesterday. In one of 4 criminal cases he faces, a judge denied the former president's bid to block 2 key witness testimonies in the case where he is accused of falsifying business records to hide the hush money payment to one Stormy Daniels. I would say that when it rains, it pours. Right now, Trump is facing a tsunami. Now, if you have as successful a company as Trump claims that he has, $464 million in a $2.6 billion war chest is really not that much. I mean, it's sizable. If I had $2 billion and I had to give up $464
well, that's a lot of
I'd
money,
be
$2 billion. But I think because the point is, it's not liquid cash. It's in some assets. It's probably locked into some mutual funds and CDs that you can't unlock right away. And with him being the president and in the news, and he's a known, alleged liar, right? And has
known alleged. Well, they fact checked it every time
well,
he lied.
I'm not going to call it. Listen, Mr. Former President, I am not saying that you're a liar, but the media has alleged that President Donald Trump lies and that he boosted the value of his home. And, so if I was a bonds company and a president that got like 92 charges against him has been in the media for lying, known to be lying and fluctuating numbers, I wouldn't put my money up. That's not sound business. So,
No.
And then when you that powerful, if you get elected again and don't pay me back, guess what? Ain't nothing happening.
What you gonna do?
Well, take you to court, but then I've seen what happened in court.
Right, because you done stacked the deck at the court.
So I think it's bigger than not him just having the money. I think it's business people saying, you know what? This is a deal I don't even want to be a part of.
I know, right?
Because then it opens them up to all type of investigations, and now they got to show their books, and you just got federal pros because they want to attack Trump. Now they got a target on your back because you helped this man.
Well, once he finds, and if he finds a bondsman that's going to actually put that bond up, you are absolutely right. The media is going to shift their attention from Trump and put all the focus and attention on whomever owns that company and all their partners.
Now, if you've been doing good business and you straight, if you give him the money, if you're a bondsman, if I had it and I knew my books were straight, I would give Donald Trump the money.
Nah, you gotta pick what side.
No, I'm saying.
You said you weren't gonna give him the money.
No, I'm saying I'm giving the example. If I was a bonds company that had no issues, wasn't scared of nobody coming after me, I would give him the money because guess what? If and when he is reelected, they may be the next ambassador to Barbados or something because they helped him out.
They exiled.
Right. So it's I, as a businessman, I see why they 30 of them said, heck no, get off my doorstep.
Okay, now I just want for the record, I'm going to ask you this question straightforward, and I want you to answer it without all the fluff you just gave me. You're a bondsman. You got $700 billion in assets. I'm Trump. I come to you and ask you, can you bond me? Can you give me a bond for 464? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm doing it. Because I do business right.
You do business.
And I'm not worried about them looking in my book. Look at Jarrell over there sweating. Like, So, Jarrell, would you give it to him? Of course. See, Tammy, would you give it to him?
I plead the fifth. In fact, I plead the $464 million fifth.
Well, it's interesting, but This whole election, as you said at the beginning of the top of the hour, it is election day. And I hope that everybody's listening is going and taking their soul to the poll. Because if you don't vote, a no vote is a vote for the adversaries.
Exactly. You don't want to get in.
So you got to get up and vote.
Yeah, I before you came out, I shouted out the wonderful people who work in the polls over at the YMCA 63rd and Stony Island, and
I'm glad they took care of you.
They took care of you.
Because if they did, boy, that poll place was going to get shut down.
I'm talking about it's going up like the balloons, literally. But they were amazing. I got to tell you when you're right, and I got to tell you when you're wrong. But if you guys do not have a poll place, definitely, if this is in your area, you want to go there, they will take care of you. I'm talking about those people were amazing.
Was it a long line?
It was no line, no wait.
That's unfortunate.
That's I was going to say, but they were, and I asked them. Of course, we had a long conversation. Has it been busy? No, it hasn't been busy. So that means that low voter turnout is expected, but you can change that. We still got plenty of time. Polls don't close till 7. All you got to do is get to the poll. Like you said, get your soul to the poll. But you know what? However it turns out, it is what it is. God knew before the votes were cast and counted who was going to win. But we went in today, as we always do on Tuesday and every other day. We got a new song for you today from a person that I admire. That is Dr. Lisa Bellamy Fluker. She has taught at Harvard, Yale, literally gone around the country and the world fixing businesses that have broken souls in the business. The biggest and the best resource is our human resource. So she's also a psalmist, and she's got a brand new song out after a long sabbatical from music. She's back in the saddle, y'all, and I definitely want you all to tell me how you feel about this new song. I think it's dope. Let's get to it. Miss Lisa Bellamy. Here you go. It's Inspiration 1390.
What's the name of the song? I'm like, here we go. Cut it down. This is smidgen.
Yeah. The reason I didn't know if it was Joy, because I looked at it and she said she's going to release it in this. Well, it is spring today.
Yeah, today is the first. Did you say that?
No, I didn't. You can say it.
I didn't make it. They're supposed to
go vote, people. That's right, Tina.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it usually
just make some real quick based off of these topics, so that we can make sure we stay on point.
Just go to the email and just copy. I'm just gonna copy it. GPT got for me. Was all that.
You heard that?
Yeah, of course, everybody heard it.
No, listen, I was gonna try to quote some of him. He is a Republican conservative, and I found his page, and I didn't want to follow him, but he has some great, funny soundbite points.
That was a point.
I go.
Oh, that dude.
No, I used to be a Christina.
How have you been? How's your performance?
It was one about. Oh, I sent y'all something about Maya.
That's right.
Let me see. I've been
the
sending
one
y'all.
that you had with the
look.
lessons at the end of each chapter.
Oh, I saw this one. Yeah.
Center to apply for my $50,000 debit card.
This reminded me of you being trans-race.
Come on now. That title alone is
that does have a point. Nobody's getting ID'd.
That's awesome. You're so dope.
When is yours coming out?
That's out. Yeah, the children's book.
Oh yeah, I did like the children's book. Yeah.
The children's book
I
out now.
not to have any
The novel
points,
is not
just
I probably will give it
I have my
to
points, but it's like
it's almost done, like literally almost done. The children's book took off, so when we started doing merchandising, so I
no
really
politics
got
in
kind
this
of
thing.
distracted and finishing the book. I got best editor in the whole wide world, so yes.
I'm so happy. So Action Jackson, when is your book?
One of these days, I'm going.
He has 4 books out.
Y'all want to do the word of the day?
No, let's go to what's going on briefly so we can get to our guest. Because it's 12:30. I hope they don't know.
I'm about to send you something.
It's his day, so he gets to stay there.
Yeah. like that. She sounds like the emotional.
She does.
1 minute for what?
So what's going on?
No,
She
you
really
can come
does
on.
sound. You right, Tina. She does.
Right. Y'all listen to him. You listen to me. You keep working.
Oh, that's awesome. Staying in your lane.
Where's the action, Jackson?
Did you fade her song or was almost over?
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Well, what's going on is I won't move fast, but the Bible teaches us you have not because you ask not. But I know I saw an interesting post. I was shared a video of a conservative Republican that has over 1 million followers, and one of my social media content creators sent it to me to show me how he has amassed this large following, and it's because he does these short controversial videos where he just makes like a 1 minute statement. He ruffles a lot of feathers, and some, of course, the Republicans are like cheering him on. But one of them was very interesting to me. He in the video, he's walking down the street and he said, "I'm on my way to the migrant center to apply for my $50,000." He said, "I hope they don't ask me for identification because they didn't ask any of them for it."
And that part.
And I
And
said,
drop the
now,
mic.
wait a minute.
And
now,
let me go get my 50.
I said, well, I'm pulling up to the migrant center. But
Let me get my 50. Not 50, my 50.
you know, we talked about this with Elder Edie,
Yep.
with Winona, the migrant situation. And I mentioned it then, and the conversation kind of died down in the community. But we got to keep this at the top because it's election season, right? And people promise us the world to get a vote, and then we don't see them for 4 years.
But you know what? We forget during those 4 years about those promises too. So some of that onus is on us.
Well, yeah, but you know what? If you lie to the government, it's a crime. But if the government lies to you, it's politics. Yeah. And we have to change that narrative because it's a travesty, especially when we talk about property tax assessments being taxed too high and people losing their home, right? Disrespectfully. Then you look at this migrant crisis, and President Joe Biden just announced that he is working on funding to give Americans $400 a month in some type of tax break when you file your taxes up to $9,600. And they're like, wow, $400, but you're giving migrants $2,000-$3,000. So the President Joe Biden has proposed an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 2 years to put towards their mortgages.
Okay, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, but see that herein lies the problem.
No, because let me say is you said something super important. Everything that goes on now, we take it, but then we go back to, okay, so you giving me free bus tokens, but you gave the migrants free bus passes for a year. Okay, so you giving me a stipend for a blanket. Well, you gave the migrants blankets and a house. So it all goes back to that. And I don't understand why you're making policy. You didn't see that. You didn't foresee that.
Well, I think the problem is if we say, okay, yep, we're gonna take the 400, they're appeasing us. It's just to make us
that
happy.
Don't mean I'm gonna shut up.
Right, but most people do, unfortunately. And that's why Mayor Harold Washington had to tell people when he ran, take the turkeys from Jane, but vote for me.
That's right.
But when you have to tell people that means they don't understand that. And we're still in that situation where people don't know that they can take the turkey from over here, but then go vote for whoever they want to.
Right.
Because when I did my little stint in politics campaigning, the biggest thing that really hurt my heart was when I was knocking on people's doors and they were telling me they couldn't support me because they were supporting the current elected official. And I would ask them why. And they were like, he gives me turkeys at Thanksgiving. And it's like,
but what is he
you
doing
loyal
from
for a
Thanksgiving
turkey?
to Thanksgiving?
That's the problem.
In between.
So, believers, I just wanted to say, stay on the wall, as the preachers say. Do not come down until we start to really see change. And don't withhold your vote. Vote for somebody else. If you go into those polls and the person you thought you were voting for been in there 5 years, 10 years, and haven't done anything, at work, when somebody's not working, you hire a new employee, right?
Right.
I can't get nobody to help me up here. But in other news,
I'm going to ask you this because I really think that you are hitting on something super important that we need to shine a light on, a whole show actually.
Yeah.
The power of the Black vote. I don't know another group that is more coveted at election time, prior to election time, than the Black vote. That right there.
For now.
I'm talking about now.
Yeah, because the migrant vote will then replace our vote.
But I understand this is my conversation. I'm talking about right now.
It's my segment. I'm talking about got him. But
the power that you have, you can take that power and extrapolate it and make it more powerful if you only knew how powerful you were. If
you use it. And in church they tell us when God gives you a gift and you don't use it, then you'll lose that gift, right? So and we had a power of the voting block, right? And we're not using it, and we're gonna lose it because that's why. And don't think I'm just here like a Republican stump for Trump. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we keep allowing the same thing to happen over and over, expecting different results. That's insanity. We cannot continue to just blindly vote for people who are not coming through on their promises. If I hire you to work for me and you don't do what's outlined in the job description, I have to let you go because now you're wasting time and my money. But some politicians are like a smooth dude at the bar, right? They can talk so good, but when it comes to paying them bills, you be like, where'd he go? What happened to all that good talk you was talking about? You was paying my bills, you was paying my car note. Now I can't find you, and it's all due. It's got all red. But do you stay with them? So most women do. Some of these politicians are like the smooth dude at the bar. Some of these politicians are like the smooth dude at the bar that wine and dine you, and then you end up on the episode of SVU too. So you better be very careful. Or you end up your debt to income ratio is really elaborate, right? Actions speak louder than words. Speaking of that, we got community chatter coming up next. We got a great guest. But before you go, listen, I started You Have Not Because You Asked Not. I'm putting it out there. If any of the believers have a Hilton or Hyatt hookup, DM your boy. I'm trying to take Valencia out of town. Let's do it right here on Inspiration 1390. Listen. I got a Hilton hookup. I know. Something told me it was going to be right in the house, in the room. But I said, if I don't say it, I won't know. Listen, I'm sick of these politicians. I am sick of some of them. I respect politicians because they don't have an easy job. I was at an event, and because I know a few of the elected officials, when I get in the room, they ask me, that's your boy, your boy. Yeah, and then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna argue with you because I don't know what he's doing either good enough to even take up for you. But I think that before you vote, you should do a month long of research on the candidates that you're considering because you don't know. Like you said, all you know is what's in front of you. And typically, we don't get into the voting process until a week before the vote is being cast. Yeah. And so all you see are the commercials. Well, I'm gonna make my commercial make me sound good. And most of the commercials lie anyway. Oh, thank you. I know when you said lead. Thank you, DJ D-Lo. This is my red carpet here. I go on the red carpet Thursday. Tammy's in a movie, and it is finally premiering on the East Coast. In D.C. It's premiering in D.C. It's called Kingdom Reign. Okay, you can fade this and do the Winona intro. So we can get to it.
Hi there, it's Winona Redmond, and it's time for Community Chatter, brought to you by Win-Win Communications.
Each and every Tuesday, Winona Redmond of Win-Win Communication comes and brings us a new best friend and sometimes an old best friend to shine a light during the community chatter segment. And we're so happy Winona couldn't be with us today because she has so many amazing things going on. Yes. And that's when you know you've arrived, when the work goes on and you go somewhere else and continue to work. That's it. Now, that's how you know you're a boss for real. Right. Well, listen, filling in for Winona as our special guest and guest co-host is Dr. Sandra Stinson, who also serves as an apostolic covering. Well, I'll be John Brown. Dr. Sandra believes that at the heart of philanthropic. Go ahead, Tabby.
Lies resolute leadership encompassing vessels fastened to an unyielding mandate to serve others. Dr. Stinson is the founding CEO of Matthew House Chicago, a daytime supportive service center for the homeless, and recently celebrated 30 years of providing services. Lasagna advocates serving homeless individuals and other marginalized people, helping to organize the local continuum of care. Chicago Coalition for the Homeless Response Group for Equity, and CEO of Chicago and other fantastic organizations that are service-oriented. We are welcoming back Dr. Sonia Stinson. Oh, Sonia Rickett Stinson. Y'all know the name.
I am so happy to be here again with you two, my best friends. It is great to be back on the Brunch Bunch as a host, as a co-host. I couldn't wait to get here, so I got here kind of early.
Oh no, we are always happy to have you. I must shout out, you come from a royal family, the daughter of Gus and Mary Rickett, and the sister of our very own Charmaine Rickett, Uncle Raymond Saucy Fried Chicken. Dr. Stinson, you're an international speaker, life coach, 9-time best-selling author, and the visionary of the best-selling book, Disrupting the Status Quo, Volume 1 and 2, along with all of the other accolades that Tamara talked about. But how do you make time to do all of this?
God has graced me for it. It's called grace.
Grace.
It's called grace. You have to have grace, but you also have to have time management.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know how to rest, have to take time for yourself to listen to God, to see what direction you're going to go. So I always tell people all the time that you have to have the grace to do this. You cannot do this. You cannot work in multi-arenas, cannot be the CEO, and cannot be the author and empower women, because this is Women's History Month.
Yes.
Empower women in the circles that we are, unless God has graced you for it. Everybody can't do it.
That's it.
Well, the charge for empowered women is to continue to empower, which you do so aptly. And thank you for your space and what you're doing and the magnificent job that you're doing in your space. So speaking of magnificence, the Matthew House and all of its programs, we touched on it just a little bit, but could you just go ahead and share some detailed background on the Matthew House and the services it provides?
Well, Matthew House is a daytime supportive service center for individuals who are homeless. We are now celebrating 34 years. I am the founding CEO of the organization. We are one of the largest daytime supportive service centers on the south side of Chicago. We serve men, women, families, and children. We have permanent supportive housing. We take a holistic approach because we see individuals' humanity who are experiencing homelessness.
And so specifically, what does the Matthew House do for the homeless in way of services? Now, I know at the missions, if you go to one of the missions, you have to put your name on the list, and it really depends on the how many people have come before them. But I think this is a different approach to.
Yeah, Matthew House was founded with the niche of being able to do a daytime program. And the daytime program was, I asked the question, where does someone go who doesn't have a mailing address? And someone needs to mail them a letter. I asked the question, where do they go if they need a place to be in the daytime? So we take a holistic approach to making sure that they have a daytime place to be able to connect with the resources that they need in order to end their homelessness. We use that approach, and 34 years later, we're still using that approach, providing a safe environment with 2 showers, 2 meals, laundry services, mental health, behavioral health, all of the services they can get in one shop.
You said something super important, and an address.
And an address, because that's needed to get a lot of services, and they usually don't have an address. Hence, homelessness.
Well, yes, they have to have a state ID. In Illinois, you have to have a state ID. So many of them have to use our address for state ID. So which is why many of the local individuals, politicians come there, because they have this long list of individuals who have registered at our address.
Wow. Now I have a question for you. You're in this space. You've been doing it 30 plus years. How did you feel when the response to this migrant crisis that we talked about earlier? Because I think you're the first person in this arena that we've talked to since this has all gone on, because you service this population. When you saw all of these funding and resources coming, how did you feel? How did you take that?
Well, of course, being a Black woman, African American female running a nonprofit in the city of Chicago, it makes you think, where did all of the money come from when we were trying to get money?
Because they were crying broke all that time.
Thanks, Tamara.
I know you can't say it. I can.
I think that there has to be, we have to look at a blended approach. Because at the end of the day, we have to see everyone's humanity. And we don't know what happened over in their country, but there has to be an approach where everybody wins. I think that in some way we need to look at it to a point where everybody has to win.
Yeah. The conservative guy that I was talking about earlier, I did see a clip. He said the good thing about the migrants coming across the border, violence has gone down in Venezuela. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, what does that say?
Right.
Keep that going. Where is it going up?
Right.
Wherever you went.
What you need to be aware of is that 73% of individuals that are experiencing homelessness are African American, but we only make up 13% of the population.
Wow. Say that 73%.
Of individuals who are experiencing homelessness are African American men and women, but we only make up 13% of the overall population. What does that tell us?
That's why they don't fund homeless initiatives, because it's primarily African American.
Well, I think that that's a deeper dive, and I think it begs for a longer discussion because there's some gaps there. There's some political gaps. There's some funding gaps. There's some fundamental rights gaps that we need to really address. But like I said, we're going to do that on another show so that we can really educate the community about what remedies there are. But how are some of the key community outreach initiatives that Matthew House is involved in impacting the homelessness population, like you've already mentioned, 73%? And are you seeing it make a huge difference on the decline of homelessness, or is that something that's concurring? So as you're getting people into homes, are more becoming homeless, so that number doesn't drop?
We're seeing what I call generational homelessness. And generational homelessness is that my mom was homeless, my grandmama was homeless, now I'm homeless. And so to answer your question, Tamara, there's a yes and no answer. If we don't come up with some type of affordable, decent housing for individuals who are experiencing homelessness, we are going to have this problem. It's not about giving them that fish, but it's about giving them a place to live and the supportive services behind it that will help them maintain housing, which includes mental health, behavioral health, a way to get food, teaching them how to budget those. They don't call them food stamps anymore. What do they call them?
EBT cards.
Teaching them how to budget that. We have to get to a place of that. And because generational, that has not been taught, especially to these 70% of individuals who are experiencing homelessness.
Wow.
73% is a huge number.
73% when we only represent 13%.
73%, you won your election with 73%.
And still didn't provide housing.
And still
It's an oxymoron, though.
It is. Housing is a key because it takes an average of 5 years for anyone to build anything, at least in the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
And you would think that would be a priority for politicians' initiatives. If you've got 73% homeless, if you cured the homeless crisis, you won every election that you've ever run for, because you've got a following now that, number one, has an address, the right to vote, and typically gonna vote for you.
Yeah.
Well, the talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap. And you know what? Thank you for the work that you do. Tina Hammond on Facebook said, great work, Dr. Stinson. It's amazing to see people in this space. And that's why I asked the question, because when I see Stay in Your Lane, when our number one listener sent me an article where they're building housing for the homeless migrants. And like you said, where was all this money when I'm thousands of people coming through this program who need somewhere to go? So we're praying for you, but we know that it takes funding to help do what you do, especially when the politicians aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And the Bible teaches us where our heart is, our treasure should be also. Let's talk about how it's funded and how people can help fund.
Well, first of all, we're funded by local, city, state, federal, foundations, individuals. We're funded by everyone. As you may have heard in the news that recently we were vandalized and it took all of the copper away from Matthew House, closing us down for 10 days. Yet the individuals who were homeless continued to come because many of them had no other place to come in the daytime. So they were willing to sit in the cold and in the dark and say, well, we have no place to go. Many of them ride the trains, the red line, the green line, and all those other lines that they can name because they have no place to go. Some, because of their mental illness, have been kicked out. So we need to address that. We have a serious problem, and we need some serious politicians to really look at this problem.
So you mentioned that talk is cheap, but advocacy is expensive.
Yeah.
And all of this work that you have laid the foundation for has led you to one of the most exciting things for us, and I'm sure for you too, and that is the launch of the Disruptors magazine. Let's talk about it.
Woo, 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 woo.
I have been a disruptor all of my life. I come from a large family, but I have had a learning disability and severe speech impediment, which hindered my education.
Wow.
It hindered everything that I did. Many of my professors and educators said that I would never be where I am today, but if they could come back and look at me now.
Right.
They don't really have to come back because they can look at you internationally.
Yes.
You are now an international
Yes,
speaker.
I am. And so I created Disruptors, the Disruptors from the Disrupting the Status Quo bestseller, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Because I believe that as women and as Women History Month, we become disruptors when we're birthed. Because we have to not only, they say fry the bacon, but we have to go make the bacon.
That's it.
Okay. And so I believe we have to manufacture and begin the disruption that we do in order that our Black people can live. And I have to say Black because I'm Black. I'm
That's
a
it.
Black woman, okay?
And unapologetically, a lot of times we want to combine things, and some things can be combined, but our struggle is unique.
It's unique.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Stinson, it's 2024. If you want to be a white woman, you could join this trans race movement with me.
Oh my God, here we go. So Dick has been running this trans race initiative because if you can transgender yourself, you can trans race yourself. But this is not trans anything. This is transformative.
Yes.
This Disruptors magazine. So tell us a little bit about how the magazine was inspired and what made you say, okay, I've done these books. They've been hugely successful. It's now to take it to the next level.
Well, let me give you the acronym. When the Holy Spirit wakes you up at 3:00, you know it's God. Okay?
Yeah.
And so he gave me an acronym. He says disruption. The D means discipline to challenge the norm. The I is to ignite innovation in her field as a woman. The R is she demonstrates resilience in the face of adversary. And the U is her unwavering pursuit and progress. And the P is perseverance. Perseverance. And the T represents tenacity. Because as a disruptor, you've got to have tenacity.
Yeah.
And the O is optimism. It may not look like it's going to work out, but it's going to work out. And the R is resolve. You are called to resolve and be a disruptor in the field that God has put you in.
I love that. I love that. Now, what kind of content can readers expect from the Disruptors magazine?
Well, we are unveiling the cover that no one knows who's on the cover on tomorrow at the Hatch. I believe it's 4131 West State Street. And we will be there to unveil who's on the premiere cover of the Hatch at 6:30. It is free. You can go to my website at www.drsandra.com and register. And you don't want to miss it because in this magazine, we're going to have at least 15 disruptors. Some individuals that are going to give us the last storyline. We have a medical doctor who's giving us some health advice and so much more.
Wow. So
I just got to tell you guys, I'm on the cover.
Well, listen, look, Charmaine is sending clapping hands, but that's my sister.
That's right.
Well, you know what? So the Disruptors magazine launch is going down tomorrow, 4131 South State Street at 6:30 p.m. at the Hatch. It's free to the general public. You can go to Dr. Sanja, that's DRSANJA.com. All right. I wanted to make sure I got that right. And there's going to be, now, I had the Holy Ghost. I think I know who on the cover, but I ain't going to say nothing. Y'all had to come out tomorrow and figure it out. But that is so amazing, Dr. Sanja. At a time where we're doing a lot of social media, I love a good magazine. I subscribe to Cranes and I get the physical copy. So is this a physical magazine? Is it an online magazine or is it both?
It's digital. You can order a physical copy. We already have 25,000 impressions along with 10,000 6,000 that's on the way.
So
Wow.
again, how can people get the magazine? They can
They
go.
can go to my website. The actual publishing would be by the 31st. April 1st is when we will be having it digital, and they can go to my website and pick it up.
Pick it up. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Literally. I literally love everything that you've done, and everything that you have done thus far has led you to right where you are. So glad it led you here to us on the Brunch Bunch once again.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sandra, for joining us. And Winona, wherever you are, doing amazing things. We miss you today,
Yes.
but you sent a great representative to represent Win-Win Communications, Community Chatters, Disruptors Magazine. Cover unveiling is tomorrow, Wednesday.
I love the way you've done that too. The exciting secret about who's on the cover. Now, Oprah, she doesn't do that. She knows she's on the cover of every single edition, right? But it is always nice to highlight someone else that's doing other things, because together we can really have infinity in front of us.
And be a disruptor.
That's right.
And be disruptors. I love that. Believers, you heard it right here on the Brunch Bunch. You have to be a disruptor in whatever field that God has placed you in. And you know what? If you feel like you're not disrupting anything, you got to ask God, am I in my right lane? Because like Stan Your Lane name said, you got to stay in your lane and nobody else's. Dr. Sandra, thank you again for joining us on the Brunch Bunch. Believers, it is election day now. If I could, I would give you my list of people to vote for.
I had a whole list when I went in there. It took me like 10 minutes. I'm looking at my list. I'm looking at the prompter. I'm looking at my list. I'm going back and forth. I literally took that test like it was getting ready to change.
Talk about that test.
Oh, yeah. I took
like,
that
you
test.
went to take a test, too?
Well, I felt like I was taking a test.
You know what's funny? I used to love election day, and I lived for election day.
You don't know more?
Not anymore. It's just, you know what? I told somebody, I didn't even realize it was an election season. We've gotten so disconnected. I'm not excited about a lot of the elected officials. I'm not excited about a lot of the candidates. So I just haven't been involved. You know, election day, I would drive around to every polling place to check and make sure people were there. We out. But I'm going to vote. Because if I don't, it would be a travesty and I would be bogus because I'm telling you all to vote. But I want you to remember some of the people who have been on our show that are looking for your vote. That's Commissioner Larry Rogers, Cook County Board of Review. We have Corey Marshall, candidate for 7th Congressional District. Attorney General.
I forgot.
Oh no, that's Cook County.
No, this is for Kim Fox's.
Yes, Cook County State's Attorney Clayton Harris III, which has been, listen, this race has been really crazy with him too. Because there's been a lot of smear campaigns, but we got Congressman Danny Davis, who of course is running against City Treasurer Melissa Irvin, who's running for 7th Congressional District.
And actually, it's more candidates on that list. It's like 5 of them running for that same seat.
Yep. You know what? Just go in there and write my name in the box. You know what? I'm going to write in. You know what? And write Tammy for...
Well, you know what? I've been enjoying this election season. So listen to
you have?
Yeah, because it's like another reality show for me.
Well, yeah. Now, that is true. When I get a text like, did you see the smear campaign? I'm like, send me a copy. I ain't checked my mail yet. But listen, believers, we want you to go check the boxes like Tammy did this morning. I'm on my way. A test to the poll. But if you don't vote, you're going to be tested.
There you go.
How about that? You don't want to be tried in the fire with these politicians. So get out and vote. We encourage you on this Tell Me Something Good Tuesday. Keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire. Tamara Fair on the air. I love you.
I love you, Action Jackson.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the Afternoon Drive. And if you're not following us on Instagram or Facebook, do it right now so you can see Tammy popping curls right here on Inspiration 1390.
Girls,
I wanted every one of my seconds, Jarrell.
Girls, y'all, thank you so much.
Zoe ended us early the other day.
go and get your subscription to this new launch, fantastic magazine, Disruptors. If you've ever had something disrupted inside of you or something that you were burgeoning to change, these are the people that you want to connect with. Dr. Sandra has been doing this for a while, and if you definitely need a hand to hold, this is the hand you want to hold, because this is what the hand that gives you results. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.